Hey there.
Hello?
You know the drill. Keaton, do something cool.
Oh, gosh.
What's the cool today? Fun. It's always... I don't know. It's an intro. It's definitely an intro, but is it the intro because it changes every time? Or is just the Keaton do something cool the intro,
I think
then
that's
the episode
intro,
starts?
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought subject. What's... I don't know what the word is. There's like a word for that, where it's like an interesting thing to think about. I don't know.
Thought prompt? I don't know.
Prompt maybe. That's a good word. All right. Well, speaking of words.
Yeah, did we do Suspenders last time? Or
I don't think we did. I'm like mostly sure we didn't talk because I had a Suspenders story that I never told.
Oh, well, the day of the word.
The day of the word
is Suspenders.
Here we go then.
So,
Suspenders it is. I am a Suspenders enjoyer.
Oh yeah.
I think they're kind of funny though.
Yeah.
But
do you wear suspenders?
I do in one specific case, and that is my when I was in high school, we had a men's 8 group for our men's octet or double quartet. I don't know, whatever you want to refer to it as. And we would always wear the same thing, and it was always black pants, nice shoes, a white button-up, suspenders, and a black bow tie. And it was just the most fun little ensemble that you could have.
Yeah.
And that is the only reason I've ever worn suspenders. I have yet to wear them outside of that specific ensemble.
What made me think of this word is that I was sitting in the cafeteria quite a few weeks ago whenever I came up with the idea for it. And this elderly gentleman walked in who was about on the 3rd trimester pregnant and had gym shorts, a Led Zeppelin t-shirt, and suspenders connecting the gym shorts together.
That is an interesting choice. It's brave.
Yeah.
It's brave. Wow. Gym shorts with suspenders.
Gym shorts with suspenders.
Wow. I don't even know how to process that properly, I don't think.
And the best part is that because he was, 3rd trimester, the suspenders were to the side, like...
No.
Like, just barely going around his arm.
What, like, were they normal length gym shorts, or were they, like, a little bit too short gym shorts?
No, they were normal length.
Okay.
They were, like, a little bit above your knee.
My mental image of this guy slowly, like, molding itself into what it probably was.
I mean, I guess if the suspenders were actually working, they'd probably be a little...
That's probably true.
I just can't imagine that... I mean, unless those gym shorts kept falling off.
I guess he was really done with them. He was just done with them. I have a pair of shorts like that where like the stretchy seam got ripped out in the wash or something.
Yeah.
And I refused to give up on them for some reason.
Yeah.
And I would wear them and I would just have to walk like I had poop in my pants at all points in times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know, maybe I could take a lesson from that. Wear suspenders with those awful gym shorts.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody should take that lesson also at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a fashion statement.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a fashion statement, but the message it's giving is not something that should be received.
It's a radical fashion statement.
It's a radical. That's a good one. It's a radical, outlandish fashion statement that disturbs
have we talked
the world.
about? Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're totally okay.
Have we talked about the fact that we have a name yet?
I think we did at the intro thing, but we haven't published that.
Yeah, there's like 3 episodes in between the intro and this.
You're right.
Where we talk about we don't know the name. So we should probably...
We have a name!
Yeah, we do have a name.
We have a name.
Sorry.
Here we go. Yes. We have a name. It is Word of the Day Toilet Paper. Welcome to... We didn't say it! Welcome to Word of the Day Toilet Paper 4.5 minutes in.
Maybe that should be the intro.
That should be. Yeah. Welcome to Word of the Day Toilet Paper. Keaton do something cool. Episode starts. Just like that.
Yeah.
I think it works perfectly. That's an interesting... I still can't think of it. It's like, I know, food, it's like food for thought. Yeah. It's something along the lines of that, where it's just like something to get you thinking. But
There's nothing like being recorded to keep you from knowing the words you want to know.
As soon as you're put on the spot, every ounce of knowledge leaves your brain instantaneously. We did one of these for World of Music class last semester, where like the final. Did you ever do the Yeah, we did the podcast together.
Yeah, it's still on my YouTube.
It
was our first. That's why we got the idea.
We're like, why don't we do this actually? And then we did that one episode.
That's the whole idea behind Keaton Do Something Cool. Is we sat down at the piano and we were like, let's talk about the SNES.
Yeah,
and then like we did all the sound effects.
It was
and
awesome.
We'd be like, and Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
or something like that.
You're right. It was about Donkey Kong music, and then Liam was in the room, and he got brought onto the show.
Yeah, we should listen to that after this.
We should, just to take a little walk down memory lane. I guarantee our professor lost her mind at the listening of that, because it was the least serious. Wasn't there like half an hour until it was due, and then we recorded the episode?
No, it was after it was due.
Oh, really?
And we were like, hey, if we turn in the podcast now, would that be okay? And she was like, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I was at a convention with her and another professor, and she like pulled me to the side and was like, I really enjoyed listening to your podcast. And it was that professor and the string professor who were just like, and she like she lit up. She was like, you have a podcast? She was like, what? And I was like,
that's fantastic.
Maybe
I tried to get, the professor we asked last week to do the podcast. I tried to get him to do it today. Wasn't having it. I even told him the name, and he wasn't wanting to do it.
Oh, that's brutal. He'd be actually really funny. Yeah. I feel like his
sense of humor would definitely.
His sense of humor would fit in.
I think he would feel a little awkward sitting in here with us.
That might be true. There is just probably enough room for one more person, and they'd be in the corner.
By the way, we haven't discussed this on air.
Equally
yet.
True. Yes.
But we are hoping to have a guest appearance. Our guest. A special guest.
Yeah.
That's the word. A special guest on somewhere around episode 10.
Somewhere around episode 10. And it'd be fun to not do like a special guest as like a mile marker or whatever, but just, every so often have someone come in.
So whenever we feel like we're tired of each other.
Yeah.
And we're tired of talking to each other, we'll get a third person in here.
And then
we'll talk over them.
Exactly.
And they won't get anything to say.
But they will be in the episode title, and that's what matters.
It'll be like if Liam comes in, it'll be Liam play something cool, and it's like someone who doesn't play piano, and it's just like
we'll get him to bring his upright bass that doesn't fit in this room. It's something cool.
That would actually be really cool.
That would be really cool.
It's just like boom, boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom, boom, whatever it is. Oh man, that'd be fun. If we get a professor on this, my just life would.
That'll
be
an episode 100 goal.
That has to be a 100
episode 50.
Goal.
Let's do episode.
Let's
50.
do episode 50.
I don't know if we'll make it to 100. Keep listening though.
Keep listening. With your help.
Yeah.
Only with your help we can make it.
If this becomes profitable, no way we're not doing this.
Oh, absolutely, because it'd be a side gig that we can do, and maybe, just maybe, we would record more than once a week.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
I have one famous YouTube, I don't know, quote unquote, I have one famous YouTube friend that I could maybe get on the podcast if we
yeah? Who's this?
His name is Egg Soup. Well, his name isn't Egg Soup, but his channel name is Egg Soup. And
his real name is Eggworth Soup.
Eggworth, yes. Eggworth Superpower.
Eggworth Broth Soup.
Eggworth Broth Soup. And Eggworth Broth Soup being he, I've asked him, like, when I had my own little solo thing going, I was like, hey, would you want to do a guest appearance? And he was like, sure, just let me know if I have time and you have time. And then I never had time, and then my microphone and laptop got stolen. So...
Such is the way of
Such is the way of life. But we power on through the fire and the flames. Mm-hmm. And if we ever did want to get him, I say relatively famous, he's got like 250,000 something subs, which is pretty good.
I feel like I've heard of Egg Soup.
He does Brawlhalla content, if you ever have watched Brawlhalla. Or he does Risk of Rain. And
maybe I haven't heard of Egg Soup.
Maybe not. But I did a song with him once. We did a cover of The Wellerman for a Brawlhalla.
Yes, you told me about that.
Yeah, and that's the only... that's the most famous I've ever been on the internet, that song.
Do you have, like, a personal relationship with this person?
No,
or is
I
it
do
just
not.
Like an online relationship?
Just an online. He's across the country at college or something, and older than me, and I don't know him personally. But if I ever were to slide into the DMs, the direct messages, I would get a response likely. Oh, thank you. I think it's funny that I have my thing set to 10 minutes, and it's like, oh, when it's about to start sleeping.
Yeah. You can turn that off. You can go in the settings and turn off auto lock.
I turned it up to 10 minutes because I like the auto lock.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Just in case, because I do forget about it. And I'm like, it snaps me back into things if I'm like getting really distracted and then my iPad turns off and I'm like, wow, I've been doing that for 10 minutes at least.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. I don't think I've turned it off on my phone or like...
My phone's off. Yeah. Like it's if I keep it on or if I turn it on, it stays on.
I also have a habit of like going to sleep with my phone on and then it'll just stay on all night and I'll be like, damn.
I've been very persistent these last 5 weeks, trying to not be on my phone at night. So like 10:30, take a shower, plug my phone in on the other side of the room, turn on the alarm on the actual alarm clock, because I have like 3 forms of alarm. I have like a Lego alarm clock over here, and like an actual alarm clock, and then the phone alarm clock, and I still wake up late.
Oh,
I go through the whole process of turning all of them off and then get back in bed.
My dad talked to me. I was really bad at like getting up super late, rushing everything, and then getting out the door. My dad was like, there's an alarm clock that we can get you where you have to get out of bed and stand on it for a certain amount of time in order to shut it off. And if you don't do that, it keeps getting louder, like to hearing damage points. I want
that. Oh boy. That's maybe I don't want that.
Maybe you don't want that. Well, just, I don't know.
The issue is I have an entire other family, being my family, living with me. And I feel bad enough whenever the alarms are going off, because it's like 6 a.m. and most of them don't wake up at that time.
I would not personally wake up at that time. But
wake up every day. It's not fun.
My alarm, when I could set personalized alarms on my old phone, I had the Monsters Inc. theme, but as soon as it hit the drop, it like explosively
you told me about this, I think.
Yeah. And so I was like, if I don't turn this alarm off...
I hope we haven't done this on the podcast already.
It's quite possible.
I hope we don't go in circles like where they're just listening and they're like, oh, they're doing the alarm clock
with this again. I know for a fact I've never brought up the standing on the alarm clock bit.
I know.
So that's good.
Because I would have, yeah.
That's something you remember.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe. Or maybe you don't remember.
Did we talk about the beds that shake with, like the alarm clock beds? I've shake you out of bed.
No, I don't think we've talked about that. I've heard about them, and my roommate had a very small version of that last year.
Really, like a mattress pad or something?
He had a buzzer that he put in his pillow. And one morning it fell on the floor, and I thought the world was ending.
Yeah, maybe you told me this.
It was so loud.
Yeah.
I was horrified. I woke up, like, shot up out of bed. I'm in a vaulted bed, or lofted, or whatever it is. And I was this close to just leaping out of bed and running out the door. It was horrifying. And I looked over at him, and there was just this thing on the ground.
Maybe I've already told this story here. Maybe that... I think you've already told that story, and that's going to make me think of this story, which I'm already going to... Yeah. If we've already talked about this, then we might cut it.
We'll call the episode...
Or we might just make you listen to it again.
Episode 4, we talk about alarm clocks again. I don't even think it's episode 4.
No, it's episode 4.
Okay, God bless.
I think...
We'll find out in the...
Maybe we'll have to title it, This Actually Isn't Episode 4.
Episode 4, question mark in parentheses. We talk about...
Anyway, so we had our roof redone, but it was like 5 a.m. whenever they started. And it's like, I don't know if you've ever heard a roof being redone, but it is like comically loud, like mechanical noises, like dum dum dum, and it's like I woke up and I actually thought the world was ending, like because it was like all around my room, like just these loud noises and the roof like coming off and seeing things falling back by the window because the literal tiles of the window
they're just throwing it off or whatever.
Yeah, and also there was the next morning. It was a group of, I believe, Mexican roofers, and we had a beehive up there, and no, a wasp hive, and they were running, yelling, "Waspers, waspers!" running down the roof, and these people, I don't know what roofing school they went to, or where they did to learn this, but they jumped off my 25-foot roof onto the floor or onto the ground and just. We're not bothered.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go to whatever school they learned to do that in.
I don't know if they have a roofing school. I don't know how roofing works.
I don't really know either.
It's probably just you get stuck with it if your dad does roofing, and then
that's probably true. It's generational job.
Yeah. It kind of seems like one of those jobs.
Like being a farmer.
Have we edited any of the episodes yet?
I don't think we have.
We should probably get on that.
What? You know, it's good. It's a good business model to launch a bunch of episodes at once, and then
It's actually, I would believe it's better to do a steady stream of them.
perhaps at least in the beginning, and then you do 3 at once, and then you release on a steady schedule. That's what Game Theory did, and they're pretty successful.
Okay.
Push my glasses up and
Fair enough.
But yeah,
we could do that.
cool. So we'll get those.
Release like the first 3 in one bundle,
Yeah.
and then we'll. If this is episode 4, then we'll. Yeah. Then we'll continue on from there on a weekly basis.
Onward, ever upward.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I've been saying that a lot. I think it's a song. I don't really remember though.
I know Fred says. I forget exactly what he says, but he goes, "You know what I always say? Onwards and downwards," and then he just like goes underwater.
Who is Fred?
From Scooby-Doo.
Oh, that Fred. Okay.
Yeah.
There was like a plethora of Freds I was choosing from, and it was just like no, that was Ned. I was gonna be like the one with a really weird voice.
No, that was Fred.
That was Fred?
Yeah.
I thought it was Ned.
Let me look it up.
Now I'm confused. I never watched that show, but I knew like that
Was
it
it
was
called
Ned.
like Annoying Fred or something like
It was
that?
I think it was just straight up called Ned. And it was on it was like Disney XD or whatever. Or I don't know what
I think it was on Nickelodeon.
It probably was on Nickelodeon. Dang, I have no childhood memories of anything specific. I grew up on Tom and Jerry.
Cage.
Hey, if you have a bunch of pennies and dimes and quarters in a jail cell, what do you have? A Nicolas Cage.
That's
Thank
good.
you. Thank you. I'll be here all week, once a week, for, half an hour at a time, give or take.
Let's see.
Continuously. Something like that.
Oh, it's called Ned. Never mind.
It is just called Ned?
Yep. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
That's what it is.
It's
Definitely not just Ned.
No, it was originally called just Ned, I think. Believe so. I think this was like what started it off.
Probably.
I don't know. I remember hating him though.
I probably did hate him. I was perceptive of cringe from a very young age. But I was like a big sufferer of like secondhand cringe, where if I was watching cringe, I was imagining that all of it was directed towards me.
That's what I get when I watch The Office, like the toddler episode.
Really?
The Scott's Tots episode.
I'm not familiar.
Well, basically, he promises an entire graduating class, whenever they're kindergartners, that he's going to pay for all their college.
Ooh.
But he can't.
He can't do that.
But he promises that they're going to do that to make him feel better. And then he calls them Scott's Tots, and they like throw a whole party for him. But then he has to tell them that he's not actually paying for their college, and they didn't apply for any scholarships or anything. And
that's horrible.
That scene is the like cringiest, but like in a good way scene. It's
That's the feeling I get watching Impractical Jokers when they have to do something really, really difficult to just like imagine. I don't even know. Just when they have to say something that's just the worst.
Yeah.
Just the worst thing ever. I'm just like, like I just tighten up and I'm just like, unreal. And then they do it and I'm laughing. And I'm just like, wow, I do not have the strength for that.
Tension and release?
If it was my living, if I did it for a living on TV and I was famous, maybe.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to like look my family in the eye if I did like Impractical Jokers and like they knew about it.
That's probably true. Unless they were big fans of the show and then, figure something out.
Yeah.
There has to be like, how are they not recognized constantly? Because I feel like they're everywhere. And I get that like not everybody watches the show and they cut out the parts that are like, they get recognized. But when they're just like out in public, would you not think that out of like 150 people, let's say, when you're in a town square,
somebody would recognize them,
and somebody would be like,
maybe everybody's in on the bit, and they're like, "Oh, I wouldn't want to ruin the episode."
Yeah, they pay off just like
actually,
$1.
I've met people they wouldn't do that.
That's fair. I wouldn't pay off anybody to be like, I just cut the footage and be like, another day,
another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar that I have to use.
What if we start getting recognized from the podcast?
Whoa.
Just by our voice.
Just by our voice.
Yeah.
That would be really funny. Or just be like, hey, maybe around here it'll happen. Start with campus-wide fame, and then you get...
Nobody's going to listen.
Nobody's going to listen.
It's going to be like 2 people, and it's going to be our moms.
It would be. Oh, I would never show this to my mom.
That's a fair point.
I'm definitely... One of the reasons I started, like, my personal thing was so that I could actually say things without people I know listening to it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to not do names.
Yeah.
It's because I kind of wanted you to say whatever we wanted.
I did think about that. But then we introduced ourselves, and it was like,
Yeah.
And I guess the whole Keaton do something cool bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's kind of like the main bit of the show. And
maybe. Oh, you know what?
Bleep. Do something cool.
Yeah. We'll put a piano chord over all of the actual names. We'll give you a pseudonym where we just whisper it really close into the microphone.
Yeah, like it's just like, hey, how was your day today?
Hey, F sharp major chord. Beautiful. Speaking of running bits on the show, this is where we'll edit in the.
Oh yeah,
this is where we'll edit in the
let's just do it now.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
I don't see why
we'll
not.
cut it in. All right. You ever had a really difficult time just holding up your pants? And belts were just too normal a solution. Or maybe you didn't even have belt loops. Well, I've got exactly what you need. But I introduce you to Suspenders. The over-the-shoulder problem for all of your loose-waisted needs. Thank you. Glorious. It's just like we black out and just move on like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Good with what? What happened?
Huh?
Anyway, where were we?
We were talking. I don't remember.
I don't even know.
We were
Something
talking
about showing
names.
it. Yeah, names and fame and all that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really funny to do have just a piece of paper thumbtacked on like the community bulletin boards. It's like word of the day toilet paper. Go check it out. Or like put it on the professor's bulletin boards and they're like, what is this? And then they listen.
Just put it on all of them.
Hundreds of pieces of paper. Hey, we get 21 allotted dollars for printing.
Yeah, why 21, not 20?
It's a weird number, and it's like 13 cents to print something. Like who just round up or round down? Like pick something.
Yeah, maybe that's why they did that, so you can get like almost 200 or something. I don't know.
Does 13 cents go evenly into $21? Surely not.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna doubt it, but I am going to check. It goes into it 161 and a half times. 161.538462. If I turn my phone sideways, I can see even more numbers. 5384615384165. I think it repeats. I think it's repeating.
Yeah.
I think it's repeating.
Yeah, I think it was probably just an arbitrary amount.
It probably was. So at least 160 whatever times. I forgot the last number. But then there's also colored pages that you can print for just slightly more expensive. Oh, wait, no, I'm totally wrong. I think it's 7. Isn't it 7 cents for black and white and 13 for...
Yes, that's what it is.
That's what it is. I thought 13 was default, and I was like, weird. But
maybe
apparently...
7 will go into 21 30 times.
You're right.
If I did my math correctly.
So if you never print colored ever,
you're
fine. Or if you print colored...
Print 300 pages, that's pretty good, honestly.
That is actually a really solid amount of stuff. I had to print music a lot last semester, and that's the only time I printed something. Mm-hmm. Or like I had to print things that I had to sign and bring into the
I just use my computer for everything now.
Your computer's a printer? If it's like you have like a what's it called? The
Polaroid?
Polaroid.
Yeah.
I'm glad you knew what I was talking about. You have a Polaroid computer. you just hit the print screen button.
I have to take a picture of everything that I want to print.
I think that'd be really funny.
So, like, I've got, like, this document I've got to sign, so I get on my other computer, and I take a picture of the screen, and then I print it.
That's so funny. And it's just like this, like, giant, like, 7.5-inch thick base to your computer that has a printer in it.
But you have to walk around, and you have to hold it, like, with two hands, and, like, take a picture.
Here's the picture. And it takes like 10 minutes to print it out.
It's kind of a shame that we don't have visuals, but it's also nice because...
It's up to the imagination.
Like, if you look in this room, it's pretty bad.
It is quite bad. It is... The walls are scuffed. There's windows directly to the outside. Yeah. It is... This room is probably 7 feet tall at best.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what's good about it? Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'd say probably exactly 7 feet.
Probably about 7. I have a friend who cannot fit into this room standing straight up.
Who's a friend?
Donnie.
I don't
James
know.
Dunnies. Yeah, probably not. He's a main campus guy.
Oh,
But he's 7'1", which is just a terrifying amount of height. But he's a big friendly guy. So
yeah.
he's a friendly friend.
BFG.
BFG,
Yep.
Big Friendly Giant. I watched that movie a long time ago.
I've never seen it.
I've seen it once, and I only remember very small parts of it.
Yep.
But I remember that the Big Friendly Giant was bullied by bigger, not-so-friendly giants.
Yeah, I do know that part.
And then there was a little tiny kid who was also bullied by the bigger, not-so-friendly giants. And it's just, it makes you wonder. I always wonder, like, what do you do if, like, all these mythical creatures exist? Like, how does the world change? Do we have dragon defense weapons mechanisms, or like?
So you're talking about like if dragons came into our world now?
Yeah, like if there were dragons like now. Like what was it? The Monster Hunter movie like did that, where it was like Rathalos or whatever.
Is it Monster Hunter movie?
There is. It's pretty all right.
Is it animated or?
It's right. It's live action.
Oh,
it's
I
actually
know
quite good. The CGI is actually quite good.
Yeah.
My family didn't get it because they don't know what Monster Hunter is.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know how to movie.
The whole movie is kind of like there's a native to the Monster Hunter land who doesn't speak any English,
Mm-hmm.
and a person from Earth who doesn't speak any of the native language.
Yeah.
And so they have to figure out how to get along in order to survive or whatever.
That's
It's
pretty
cool. And then they fight Rathalos, and then the military fights Rathalos, and it
Gotcha.
goes something.
I would assume if dragons came into this world, the armies would try and nuke them or try and like shoot them down with tanks. All like the pacifists would be like, "No, we need to save the dragons," and then they'll like have dragons in sanctuaries, and we'll hear stories about how the dragons ate all the people,
I think
and like broke out in New York. And then
would
killed
they all
everybody.
be angry dragons, you think?
There's probably some herbivore dragons.
Probably some herbivore dragons. Would
Still have
they
to worry
still be
about being
weaponized? Or
stomped
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Would
I
they,
mean, if
like,
we lived
fire
with
breath
them
or
well
whatever?
enough, if we lived with them long enough, there's a good chance that we'll see them used for military purposes.
Military dragons would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
I could totally see it. Like if dinosaurs were still around,
Like,
do you think we would already have them as like police pets and stuff, like a police brontosaurus?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
So cool.
I mean, I could see them more being used for like. I mean, think about how like medieval wars would be fought with dragons.
Oh my gosh,
Or with dinosaurs.
that's so true. That'd be. I don't know if that would be awesome or just like hopeless. Because if one side has like a better dinosaur, you just lose.
One side has like I forget Stegosaurus. No, that's not the big one. The biggest one.
The biggest one's like a Brachiosaurus, but they're friendly.
Brachiosaurus.
Brachiosaurus.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
A
dinosaurs.
pachycephalosaurus, the funny looking ones with big old heads.
But I don't know. Imagine a world where like we've always lived with dinosaurs, and we have like the Russian Triceratops or something like that. And it's you know what I mean? Like just different breeds and like
Different domesticated dinosaurs.
Yeah.
What would we like?
Flintstones.
You know how we breed like micro poodles and stuff? What
Yeah.
what if we bred like micro triceratops?
A teacup Triceratops.
What would you even breed it with? Where we just like make them really small?
A pug.
A bug.
A
wow.
pug.
A bug.
No,
a pug.
A pug.
A pug.
Yeah.
A pug triceratops.
I imagine that being incredibly painful for the pug, but
Poor fella. Poor fella. I couldn't even imagine. Just like a little pocket-sized triceratops. That'd be so funny. I could so imagine
it
that.
just like sitting on top of the table. You're
roaring
feeding
or
it-
whatever.
Feeding it like leaves or something. Feeding it salad.
That'd be the plant. Yeah, feeding it like a salad. Introduce Triceratops to ranch. Be like, whoa.
Probably just like screw its digestive system all up, I would assume.
It probably would. I don't know if it could handle that. But it like, you think they'd be like exotic pets or something? Because like people have tigers and stuff as pets, but it's not common.
They definitely wouldn't be domesticated like household pets.
Probably not. No, they might be
you
like.
wouldn't see them replaced with a dog.
No, definitely not
It's like-
replace, but like maybe
It's like if the dodo bird still existed.
Oh, I would
It's
still
not
have
gonna
dodo bird.
replace a cat. It's gonna
That's
be like
true.
if you had a chicken in your house. Nobody has a chicken in their house.
I wouldn't have a chicken in my house. But
Poop everywhere.
there's people that have like big animals sanctuaries, like
Yeah.
outside of their house, and they just live on it. There's a really fun channel I watch called Backyard Urban Rescue or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really funny, but he just has a bunch of random animals. Would you have random dinosaurs? Just on your...
Yeah, probably.
That'd be so cool.
It'd be like those people that have ostriches and stuff.
That'd be so cool.
Just have a farm. Yeah, instead of like bison, you'd have like just dinosaurs.
Just dinosaurs.
We'd be eating
dinosaur ranch
meat.
We would be eating, wearing like dinosaur skin
leather,
stuff.
Yeah, whatever they're made of.
What if you had a dinosaur rug and it just like was the entire room?
Yeah, and it had like a giant T-Rex head.
Oh my gosh! People that had like mounted
or like
dinosaur heads on their wall.
barbecue. I could definitely see like.
I would so
It would be called Jurassic Barbecue.
That'd be awesome.
The Crustaceous Burger.
The Crustaceous Burger. Mass-produced dinosaur meat. If we had like
Crustaceous and cream. Oh, that's awful. I was
No.
thinking like cookies and cream.
Crustaceous and cream.
You wouldn't have beef and cream.
Jurassic. What's a food that starts with a J? Jambalaya. Jurassic jambalaya.
Jurassic Java. I don't know.
Jurassic Java. That would so be like, if there was a Jurassic Park, that would be the...
If you had an all like fossil fuel powered cafe.
Jurassic Java.
Yeah.
We
use
start an engine.
exclusively fossil fuels.
Yeah, we start an engine to make... We just melt the dinosaurs.
We're feeding people oil.
Oh yeah, you hear the engine revving up to like make your coffee. It's like a pull cord lawnmower.
It's funny.
That's a really funny world to imagine.
That could be a movie. That should be a Pixar movie.
It should be, because there's Jurassic
That's what
Park.
The Good Dinosaur should have been.
The Good Dinosaur
Instead of
should have
what
been
The Good
modern
Dinosaur
day.
was.
Yeah, but The Good Dinosaur was a good movie.
Yeah, I got a little bored, but it was good.
That's fair. My sisters cried.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is perfectly reasonable response, but yeah.
What time did we say we're going to?
I think we started 30. I think we said 30 minutes was the cutoff.
It just feels too short.
It does feel too short, but I think we have to limit it.
We could do 45.
We could.
We could do 40.
If we're on a roll, like we're on a roll now with Dinosaur Society. I feel like we could just keep going with that. We'll cut it off when we finish Dinosaur Society talk.
Yeah. What if we did we'll get back on the Dinosaur Society. Don't you worry.
Just you wait.
Eager listeners. We will get back to this incredibly riveting topic. But what if every episode is like a micro subject for like the podcast? So it's like if we had like, you know how like there could be a whole, I don't know, podcast based off of this subject. But we just do a whole episode about it.
Yeah.
We do a whole episode about, I don't know, just like
something else. Some other thing. Dinosaur Society, the podcast, the episode.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. How are we going to title these? Like, are we just going to do the word of the day? And then, like, I feel like it'd be funny where it's like, Suspenders, but we talk about dinosaurs.
I feel like the word of the day, if a good topic does not rear its ugly head. But
its ugly dinosaur shaped head.
with 3 horns in the front and it's teacup poodle size.
It's teacup poodle, but it has a giant head still.
It's got this little feet.
It just can't move. You have to like carry it everywhere, and it has like this tiny body.
That sounds awful.
That would be such a poor existence.
No, we could just like I don't know, if we just talked about Suspenders, we could just kind of do it the topic that gets the most attention.
Like Dinosaur Society definitely is going to be the...
Yeah, I feel like that's a good one.
That's a good one for this one, because that's where it ends up. That's where it's where the ball rolls.
It's you know, if we did 45 minutes, that's a golden ratio point.
That is. Yeah. That's true. And we get 3
maybe
15-minute episodes all in one.
We just cut it off.
Yeah.
And just cut it into bits.
Or we get 9 5-minute episodes.
Or we get 45 1-minute
45
episodes.
1-minute episodes. What's 45 times 60? 1 billion 1 second episodes. Isn't 1 billion seconds like 37 and a half years? No idea. Hey, but we've got a system going.
Yeah.
We've got the ball rolling.
Let's get back to
Dinosaur Society. Could society like move on futuristically with dinosaurs still in existence?
Well, I mean, we have no idea what that Earth would have looked like.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair. So we don't have to lean on the piano.
So we just...
Yeah. So what's interesting?
We would evolve so much differently. It's like,
That's
because
true.
if we didn't have horses, we would have evolved so much differently.
Probably.
As a society, not necessarily as like humans, not to get into like evolution and stuff.
Yeah, we would have figured another way to travel quickly, to carry heavy loads and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, and who's to know if we would have domesticated them? Who's to know if they would have wiped us out?
It's true. They could have.
Cavemen could not deal with dinosaurs.
No, they hid. They went in a cave and they said, no.
No, they didn't exist.
I mean, I guess it's fair. Oh,
You did know that, right?
I totally did. I was just thinking of the Croods.
The
like-
Croods is factual. Thank
That's
you very
fair.
much.
The Croods is a real life representation of cavemen that spoke
They were
perfect
the-
English.
they were the first. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
No, I can't think of. It's happening again.
You're on air.
Ah.
Can't do it. The first, I don't know, prime
The
example.
first recorded
There we
family.
go.
There we go.
The first recorded family.
was the Croods.
Good job, Croods.
They spoke English, around 200,000 years before it became about.
It even was a thing.
Yeah. And they live with dinosaurs.
And they do. Or, well, do they? They don't live with dinosaurs. They do live with, like, really big creatures, though.
I thought they lived with dinosaurs.
Do they live with dinosaurs? I don't remember
I was under
it.
the impression that it was like a Flintstones-like universe where it's like
Yeah, no,
living
they
with dinosaurs.
they live with,
Swear
like...
they had a dinosaur friend. Maybe I'm thinking.
They had the giant cat that was like a giant saber-toothed rainbow cat or whatever, right?
Maybe. I don't
That
know.
was like the
I-
main predator.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen Croods in years.
I don't know. It has been a minute. I saw The Croods 2 more recently, and that movie was all right at best.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Sometimes I'll see a sequel, and it's like, yeah, we didn't deserve to get a first one.
that Wreck-It Ralph did not need a sequel.
I like Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know if it
I
needed a
loved
sequel.
Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph 2 was horrible.
I hadn't watched it.
Don't watch it.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I was kind of interested in the internet idea.
It is a cool idea, but what they did with it...
It's a cool evolution from where they came from with.
But it
the
was
arcade
just
idea.
it was just try to appeal to pop culture, the movie. And it's really, really bad when movies
Is
do
it
that.
one of those like pop culture references of the movie? Yeah.
It is.
I like it when the Lego movies do that, like Lego Batman.
That because they do it ironically. Like
Yeah.
they're like, I got a 9-pack, I'm awesome. You know, it's like
Or
It's
like, what's the
perfect.
password? Iron Man sucks.
I love that stuff. And it's just like first try. Yeah, first try. Oh, now I got a notification. Now it's gonna automatically sleep at 48 minutes instead of.
Gross.
Hey, but we'll be done before then, right? Yeah, 45-minute episodes. Yeah.
Are we doing 40 minutes or 45? I don't
think-
know if we decided.
I think we just decided whenever Dinosaur Society was done.
I think we stopped talking about that like 2 minutes
We
ago.
did stop talking about it 2 minutes ago.
Do you have any more to add about Dinosaur Society?
I think it would be
Would
cool.
they wear suspenders?
I think if you got a dinosaur in suspenders, it would be worth it.
Well, but they're like for a T-Rex, for example, their arms are so tiny that they wouldn't be able to.
They wouldn't be able to do the funny thumb snap
funny
thing.
thumb snap, yeah.
That's all suspenders are good for, and they wouldn't be able to do it unless they struggled really hard. Getting a snapshot.
I don't know. I feel like their tail would prop up their pants, and
That's
They
true.
wouldn't need suspenders.
Would they have a hole? Would the pants cover the whole tail?
Why do we stop wearing suspenders?
Did they just fall? That's a good question, actually. Why did we stop doing... Maybe they got stereotyped to one thing, and then we invented the belt, and things were easy. I don't
feel
actually
like
know which came
there's-
first.
There's no way the belt came after the suspenders.
I'm...
The belt is makes so much more sense.
It makes a lot more sense. I am thoroughly curious. But did you know that the like fluid lighter, the cigarette lighter, was invented before the match?
Really?
Yeah, it was invented before.
Yeah.
And I guess the match was just there for other reasons.
It's there if you didn't want to buy a 99-cent lighter.
Suspenders.
Or actually, matches were invented so that detectives could read the matchboxes to find out where the person was killed if it was in their pocket.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's why they were invented.
Wow. Okay, I was not expecting that. So, suspenders were invented around 1820.
Yeah.
The belt was first worn by people in the Bronze Age,
Yeah.
anywhere between 3300 and 1200 BC.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it's a pretty simple idea.
It is a very simple idea.
I mean, you got to
just
think of like
strap.
what are they called? The not corset. Is it a corset?
I think the one where it's like really tight around your waist.
I mean, that's just a belt, but just a belt around your entire body.
It's a wide belt.
It's a very tall belt.
Very tall belt.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Suspenders are very short vertical belts.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
That makes a lot more sense.
I think they're just a fashion thing.
It has to be. Because before that, I mean, a belt was like when they were wearing togas and stuff in Rome or whatever. They had that thing around the waist.
Little yarn thing.
Yeah. So was that technically a belt? It wasn't like adjustable unless you tie it right.
I mean, there's a difference between a belt and a modern belt.
That's true. Okay. It was functional as a belt.
Well, they would just tie it at any... I mean, it works the same.
Do you think they had a collection of those toga tires? Toga tire attire?
I mean, they probably had at least 4 for laundry day.
They probably did. They had to replace their one belt that they lived in and worked in and slept in.
I like to think that they had a... No, they slept naked, probably.
They probably... That's actually fair. That's so fair. They slept...
under rocks instead of blankets. They didn't have blankets yet.
You just had a pile of rocks that you slept under and that did nothing. Oh, my goodness.
But I like to think that they had a giant, comically sized belt buckle to go on the yarn.
It was just this teeny tiny little string and the massive belt buckle.
And in like 400 BC, and they had it's like a Chevy logo or something.
It's like I don't know how to speak Latin, but I imagine a Latin, like ancient Latin Roman Ford commercial where it's like, yeah, and they're still talking like this.
It's an F-150, but it's spelled out in Roman numerals.
FC, I don't know what 50 is. I think it's C. C is 50, something's 100, but I don't know.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Think back to my Super Bowl stuff. XV.
I go with until Star Wars movies stop. That's as far as I go.
That's as far as my Roman numeral knowledge goes.
Star Wars and Rocky. That's about as best as I've got.
Rocky. What a movie. What a set of movies.
Yeah. I've only seen the first one.
The third one is also good.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first and third one.
That's fair.
And like the Creed movies. I haven't seen both of them.
Yeah. Are those related?
They're like the predecessor. It's like because Rocky's in them and he trains a new guy played by Michael B. Jordan. But yeah, I think we've lost momentum.
Yeah.
I think
any more to say about Suspenders or Dinosaur Society?
Wear suspenders. They're pretty cool if you have the right thing to go with it. Don't.
Next time you go out on the town, you're going to paint the town, I don't know, maroon. Yeah. You're gonna paint the town maroon, go out and wear gym shorts, a Led Zeppelin t-shirt, let's say a Chevy hat.
I was going to say something like that.
Yeah,
a Chevy baseball cap.
Don't shave or shave, I don't know. Shave half your beard. Or if you don't have facial hair, grow half a beard. Then put on knee-high
socks. Knee-high tube socks that are like
house shoes and wear suspenders with those gym shorts.
And live your best life. And then contemplate Dinosaur Society with strangers on the street.
Yeah, go to a Wendy's. I went to a Wendy's one time where there was like 3 guys talking about like Social Security. They were talking about it so loud. And their like idea of Social Security was like so radical. Like it was like so off the wall. Like these are not, I don't know very many politics, but these are not how that works.
These are not it.
Like, but what was I saying? Oh, but go to Wendy's, discuss
Dinosaur Society.
Get a $5 biggie bag. It's October right now. Get their pumpkin spice
get pumpkin spice everything.
Yeah, pumpkin spice.
To heck with it.
But get their pumpkin spice What are they called?
Frosty?
Frosty, yeah.
I didn't know they had those. I might actually do that unironically. Okay, I
had
might-
it the other day.
Okay, I might not do
But
that.
get a biggie bag, sit down with a friend, talk about Dinosaur Society, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly,
The evil, the angelic,
the poodle cup Tyrannosaurus.
the poodle cup Tyrannosaurus Rex, and all of the good things, and why we would fear the ocean way more.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't get on a cruise ship if the megalodon was there.
No, absolutely not. It would
I
eat
certainly
the ship, and that'd be it for me. And speaking of that being it for me, that's the end. We're done sandbagging and stalling for the end of the episode. I don't even think we were stalling.
I don't think we were stalling. We were trying to end it, and then we kept making
just kept
conversation,
sidetracking.
and we kept trying to stop it, which is what we're doing right now.
It is.
All
All right,
so how do we end these again?
I'm gonna put my foot down.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's do. Thank you for tuning in to Word of the Day Toilet Paper. We'll see you next time.